Are we as women?
I can get you off, they don't give a shit. Don't speak on me when I don't go.
I started recording on my phone, but I ran out of storage, so hopefully we don't run out of storage on her. But basically, while I was getting ready, pretty much was talking about the Lemonade album and how Beyoncé was really like going through it, and she really encapsulated what it feels like to have Venus and Pluto aspects in your natal chart. And for those who don't know what the hell I'm talking about, follow me on Mama Mercury _ at IG and Mama Mercury 444. I'm an astrology mommy, and if you want to get your chart read, hit me up. Because as a girl that has one, just know when it comes to love, I'm not playing. It's not a game. It's not a game. My heart is not for play. My heart is not for play. And Jay-Z came out with the 444 and then they have a joint album. I haven't listened to none of that. I've only listened to Lemonade, so I'm just throwing that disclaimer out there. Insight into my perspective. So, listening to those songs again, listening to the album again, really has me wondering, are we as women fucked when it comes to like emotional intimacy with men? And I really, really do not like feeding into the whole gender wars thing. I don't like feeding into the concept of, if you want a man to do what you want, you have to play a man's game. Blah, blah, blah. Like, oh my God, that shit's too exhausting. I really don't want to feed into that. I just want to be my authentic self, and I want to attract, I just want to attract a lover that's on my level, that's on the same frequency as me, that, that's what I want. I don't want to play mind games just to have a man. I don't want to have to water my emotional self down to be more appealing to a man. Because at the end of the day, low-key, when we're playing these mind games and we're feeding into this we're really going backwards. Because we're still feeding into their we're not making positive change. That's more someone like based off the current what's the word I'm looking for? Nature, the current climate, it might be a better word, like the current climate of men. I need a better adjective for that. But essentially what I'm saying is the generation of men, right, that are still heavily influenced by the misogyny from the past that's just kind of created where we're at right now. The men that subconsciously believe that women are below them, that comes out of our mouth is just emotional bull. Those type of men, the type that want to submit and like that red pill content type of vibe. When we're playing into those emotionless games, we're feeding into that same. I don't want to feed into that. But I do have to ask, am I and other women like me, are we playing a game that's not going anywhere when we're expecting the same emotional depth that we give out from men? Is it like a male thing, period? Or is it just the type of men that we've interacted with are just not in alignment? And that's where I'm at right now. That's my question. Because even the men that I've met that are good men, or that are like nice, wholesome people, they still, like having certain types of conversations and just different things. We just didn't get to that level. We didn't get to that depth because they couldn't reach me there. So I'm like, is it unrealistic of me to want that from a man? And watching Sex and the City, of course, it's a show, so I'm not going to just fucking internalize every single thing that they're saying in these episodes. But, there are some things that I'm like, y'all clocked that. Y'all ate that. And when Charlotte's, I don't remember the episode. I might like link in the little clip right here.
Don't laugh at me, but maybe we could be each other's soulmates. And then we could let men be just these great, nice guys to have fun with.
You might have ate that up. A depth that we have as women, like the unconditional love that we show and like unconditional acceptance and just like this deep type of love that we dish out. Maybe that type of love is not meant for men. It's meant for like the innocent, like children. Men, because they And I feel like part of it, maybe it's not even like a biological thing, but just because of how most of them are raised to just like, you know, that toxic masculinity, like don't listen to your emotions at all. Your emotion, if you're very emotional, it makes you weak, crying and acting like a. What men fail to realize is when they continuously preach these type of ideals, what type of men are you raising in terms of how they are going to go out in this world and interact with women? If a man doesn't know how to deal with his own anger, his sadness, his wounds from childhood, or anything else, he doesn't know how to navigate these negative emotions healthily, how in the is he supposed to have a healthy relationship with the woman when we're constantly going through ebbs and flows and we're constantly going through changes? Because they don't even know how to do it within themselves. So once they meet a woman that's like full in her feminine energy, then when it comes to showing any negative emotion, they don't know how to deal with it. So then it's like you can't even, you know what I mean? You can't even show up for a woman. I'm not saying you have to drown in your emotions because y'all aren't really meant to do that. We biologically go through changes, hormonal changes all the time. That's part of why we are known as emotional beings, right? Masculine energy is like more so the physical realm. Feminine energy is the spiritual realm. So we are constantly going through, you know, the ebbs and flows. Like I said, men don't. And it's like, I'm not saying that y'all have to be like women. Yeah, I'm just like, I know y'all are not meant to really dive deep in your emotions like we are, but at the same time, like, we have to find some type of balance. So that's really what I'm thinking. I'm like, are we just supposed to be each other's soulmates for real? Are we supposed to be the ones we come together and we really emotionally like nurture one another and we just really show up for each other in this raw way? I don't know, but getting out of hand. Cause I'm tired. My hair is red now, and the Lilith energy has been fucking crazy. Before I dyed my hair this like auburn coppery color, my hair was a honey blonde for about almost 2 years, if not 2 years. And once I was ready to branch out to a different color, I knew I wanted to do red, but I had gotten a door dye that was like maybe intense red or something. It was bright as insert in a picture, and that was its own thing. I was pink for a minute, and then I was back one. Well, now that was also, I think that was during Venus retrograde, if I'm not mistaken. So that also could be why I didn't like color like that. And then that was its own little thing. I was pink for a minute, and then I was back blonde. Well, now that was also, I think that was during Venus retrograde, if I'm not mistaken. So that also could be why I didn't like the color like that, because I did it during Venus retrograde. Well, retrograde is over, and I found the perfect color, and I'm in love with it. It's definitely still giving Lilith though. I genuinely believe that when it comes to generational curses, mine heavily has to do with the feminine. Mine has to do with being a protector of women and children and animals and life in general. Mother Earth, all that. That is my mission. That is a part of my mission, okay? And when it comes to the women of my bloodline and all the things that they've endured, I cannot repeat those cycles. I've seen the trauma that it's caused. I've seen the pain that these women have just absorbed and just held on for years and years and years. And then they're having children, and their children are either suffering from these conditions that they settled for, or they're literally, you know, passing on this pain and the suffering and this anxiety and these suppressed emotions onto their children. I'm stopping that. That's not continuing with me and mine's.
You want to know what a motherfucking boss looks like, bitch? You looking at one.
It's not. And that's okay. Okay? Because they did the best that they could. They did the best with what they had, and I'm not going to judge them at all. Anybody that came before me in this bloodline, I'm not judging none of them. I carry them with me every day. And they know that things are done. They know that with me, we're not doing that same shit. Okay? If I ever even choose to have children that incarnate this earth, best believe they daddy is divine masculine. Divine masculine. Best believe. Me and him is a match made in heaven. We are a divine pairing. We are a union dedicated to God and to our soul missions. Best believe. I cannot afford to settle for anything less. And that's how the we have to think. And I feel like that's also a part of like changing shit, is I have to be a voice for whoever feels like they resonate with these words. Come with me. We change this shit up, and we're not, absolutely not, dealing with this shit anymore. And that's part of the change, is we have to have stronger standards, ladies. Don't let these ancient scare you into thinking that you'll be old and lonely. Because best believe, if we look at old single men and old single women, the old single men is the lonely ones. I was really coming on kind of crazy. When I say men in these scenarios, I'm literally referring to like bottom of the barrel, don't do shit, very toxic men. Women find community amongst each other. Men don't really have that. They'll go and they find other women to kind of satisfy that hole in their heart, even if they're non-committal. Trust. They'll just get them a couple to drain their life force out. So when it comes to us, because we're the ones that have the wombs and we're the ones that bring life, your pum pum bring life, you cannot just be letting anybody up in there. Come on now. And it's not even in the fact of purity or nothing like that. It's just like, why would you even let a bum touch you? That's how we gotta think. You know, the unconditional love, like, oh, he has problems, and his mom used to yell at him, whatever the excuse y'all are making up in your head. No, is he doing that for you? No, if he find a better he's leaving you in the dirt. If he see a that look better than you, a that's boosting his ego, men are very selfish creatures. Trust. You need to be more selfish. That's what you need to learn. They are selfish creatures. They do what they see fit. You need to follow in those footsteps. Trust, because you're losing a lot more if you get pregnant by a bum. You're losing a lot more. Your entire life is changing. His is changing. Not for real. He can up and leave. He can up and leave. And I know technically anybody can leave their children, but you're the one whose DNA is now permanently changed because you slept with this man and you're having his baby. Now part of his DNA will always be a part of you. Your fucking face is changing during pregnancy. All your hormones are changing. You're literally absorbing everything energetically from your environment, and your baby is being affected by it. It takes you years for your physical body to heal, and even more years for your emotional state to come back somewhat normal, because you're never going to be the same. Once you cross over from maiden to mother, you can never go back. Men, like, they fertilize the egg, and then if they want, they can bounce. They can get a new pregnant every day if they wanted to. But if once you're pregnant, you out the game for damn near a year. So you need to be very diligent with who you're allowing up in there. Don't let niggas ran by lust run you. No. Don't let nobody ran by lust run you. Okay? It's nothing about being pure. It's nothing about all that extra. It's about knowing who the you are and what your worth is. If you let 30 baller niggas, then okay. Yeah, but no, don't let 30 bums touch you. Come on. Do the math. Like, if you want to mess around, you do it. But don't do it with no bum. At least do it with a nigga that got some respect for himself and you. Bare minimum. We got too much to lose. And that's what the lemonade got me thinking. Okay. This was fun. 16-minute video. That's all I got to say. Key takeaways? Let's be more discerning. Let us as women just be more discerning with who we pick as partners. Let us be more discerning with who gets our time, who gets our energy. Let's be more discerning. And let's bring back real sisterhood. Okay? This whole like women are in competition with each other and all this extra. Listen, it is not back in the day. Back in the day, women was low-key doing that for survival. And I mean, if we go back in more historical times, it's probably a different story. But we're not getting into that. We're talking about like 1950s and up. Okay? So back in the day, you couldn't do anything without a man. Like, you could not get no you're not getting a house, you're not getting a car, you're not getting education. Well, education might be pushing it in the 50s, but I'm just saying, like, you could not do shit for real on your own. And even women that was like low-key trying to do the shit on their own, they was shunned and they was looked down upon and they was looked at as less of a woman. So women was low-key in competition with each other over men because they felt like men was the prize. Like, if you have a man, that's like that's a bragging point. Like, man on my arm, no man on your arm. You know what I mean? Because if you say, oh, I got a man, that's pretty much saying, my bills are paid. I got a roof over my head. What you got? We don't live in times like that no more. We don't have to act like that anymore. We don't have to be in competition with each other. We can actually come together and we can actually support one another and we can actually raise the vibration of the planet in doing so. We don't have to fight each other over bum because that's back to what we're saying. Bum. No, we don't have to be like that anymore. No, let's not. That's all I got to say. Damn near 20 minutes of talking. iPad never died on me. Lighting is good. Face glowing. And that's what happens when you call your energy back to you. That's what happens when you cut ties with energy vampires and energy leeches. And you call your energy back to you. This is what you look like. So just know y'all can take this advice from me. Cause I know what I'm talking about. Been there, done that. And I'm just trying to help my sisters out. I'm just trying to help y'all out. Thank you for listening. Thank you for joining me. May God bless you in all of your endeavors. Ashe.
If you want, you'll give to it all.